All right, we will move on to agenda item 3G, discuss and act on an order authorizing installation of stop signs on the Crenshaw Road and Blockdale Road approaches at the intersection with FM 2453 in accordance with sections 251 and 544 of the Texas Transportation Code and all related issues. Commissioner Stacy.
And this is kind of apropos because we came up with this solution at the first town hall meeting with TxDOT. That is being presented for you today. So, Erica, I'll let you do the summary, and then we'll go from there.
Yes, sir. I'm going to try to keep it brief because, as you probably saw in your packets, there is a lot of information there. So, but I thought that this is part of that is because there's just a lot of process that you have to go through to make sure that you're doing it the correct way and getting the regulatory stop signs in place. So, but I want to keep this very, very brief for you. So this item is for installation of stop signs at Crenshaw Road and Blockdale Road at the intersection with 2453.
I have a question, just need someone to jog my memory. Didn't we at the last court or the one before have a public meeting in regards to these stop signs?
Yes.
That's correct.
Okay, thank
if you notice at the very bottom of this slide, it gives the public hearing notice was placed in the paper on May 22nd, and then we had a subsequent public hearing. We were required to have that 30-day notice ahead of the public hearing, so then at the June 23rd meeting, we had the public hearing.
Got it. Thank you.
Yes, sir. So basically, we're following everything that's required in the Texas Transportation Code to be able to put in these stop signs the right way. The major road is FM 2453. And that is the north road, the north-south running road at that intersection. And then the two minor roads are Crenshaw Road, that's running east-west, as well as Blockdale that also runs east-west. Some of the concerns that we're trying to address here are high speeds on FM 2453. It is a 55-mile-an-hour road, which is pretty significant as you're heading south towards that intersection with Blockdale and Crenshaw. The road actually takes a really sharp 90-degree turn towards Blockdale. So that geometry is a problem, especially at night or in inclement weather when you're trying to navigate that turn. Poor sight visibility can also be an issue at points when there has been vegetation at that corner. It's just difficult when you're on the minor roads to be able to see how fast and how much traffic is coming before navigating into the intersection. So those are some of the items we're trying to address with adding these stop signs just on the minor approaches.
Erica, will there be like some type of flags or something that maybe is a little bit further out so that people can see that there's going to be a new stop sign?
And I know this is a stop sign, but this is a multi-jurisdictional solution where we're having to coordinate with the state and the county to do all this because the state has agreed to put out a stop sign approach. Mm-hmm. What we learned at the town hall is that this corner is a county corner, and we thought it was a state corner because this is a state road intersecting a county road. So we went to TxDOT and said, you have to help us solve this problem because we're having all these issues. And TxDOT said, this is your corner. And then Erica and I were like, oh, well, we will try to find a solution. And so that's what we've kind of gone through the process of what would that solution look like and turning it into a stop sign. So TxDOT has agreed to put in a stop ahead for that coming off of 2453. But what is happening is routinely about 2 or 3 cars a weekend are ending up in a barn. And there's a guy that lives on the corner that calls me every single time a car ends up in a barn. And it's just because they go to hit that corner and they do not realize it's a 90-degree corner and they cannot make the turn. And they're making it at 50 miles an hour. And so
maybe he would dedicate some land.
It's not him. So if you just keep going straight, you see a little structure right there. Mm-hmm. That structure gets about 2 cars, into that fence line, and they go all the way up into that. They're going so fast. And it happens in the middle of the night. So we've been trying to solve it for a while, and then it takes almost a month and a half to get a stop sign put in from when you start thinking about it so that you can actually patrol it. So yes. So TxDOT has agreed. They understand that it's a problem, and everything about that intersection is weird. And so the stop signs were probably going to be in when Crenshaw was done. We're just kind of getting ahead of it.
So I don't know that the stop signs are going to solve the problem of people driving
Well, we
too fast.
hope
'Cause
stop sign ahead, and then the stop signs will at least get people to slow down. We don't know what to do to get them to slow down.
But are we going to have one on 2453?
Well, so that, since it's not a county-owned and maintained road, it's not something that we can control. That's completely up to TxDOT. We have it on good authority that they are going to install it on that leg of the intersection, but we can only control the two minor road intersections.
So we're going to have one on Blockdale and Crenshaw, but
Yes, sir.
2453 is still.
It's going to get a stop sign, but we are not the state,
But-
and
Correct.
and we cannot.
But from a
Okay.
safety standpoint, if you can get that data
Yes.
on how many times it's ended up in that barn, I think TxDOT would be more,
Yeah.
maybe more open to.
Well,
from a
especially
safety
since
standpoint.
it's just a stop sign.
So,
I appreciate your hard work on this. These things are hard to solve. And I don't mean to correct Commissioner Stacy because he's rarely wrong, but just for the record, it is possible to make a 90-degree turn at 55 miles an hour.
You know, I'm going to make a motion that we authorize the installation of stop signs on the Crenshaw Road and Blockdale Road approaches at the intersection with FM 2453 in accordance with sections 251 and 544 of the Texas Transportation Code.
I will second that motion.
Thank you. I have my motion to second by Commissioner Lichty. Any further questions or comments? If you'll register your votes now. That passes unanimously by those present.